Here we are.
All right. So
We are
excited.
here. Well, welcome back, those that have been staying with us for this 24-hour gift from
Yes.
amazing leaders. And it's an event that we live stream every other hour for 24 hours from Christmas Eve through Christmas Day night. And we do this to serve those that are called to be here. We hope we can benefit from the voices that come on, the stories that they bring, and the wisdom that they share. These are leaders who freely give their time. I am totally, totally humbled to be able to collaborate with them. But welcome to a day of light and love 2019. This segment, I am super honored to introduce Séverine Naessens, who is in Cancun, Mexico,
Yes.
not originally from Cancun,
No.
Mexico. She is quite quite the lady, and she has you are, and she's going to be translating. So this is I probably should have put that in the little blurb, but this is going to be a English to Spanish translation throughout. So we have a bilingual translation going on, and that's one of your gifts, is it not? Not just
It is.
English to Spanish, but other languages as well.
Yeah. Thank you for that introduction. Let me translate really quickly.
Oh, I forgot.
Bienvenidos, bienvenidas a este evento, esta bendición, este regalo que es las 24 horas de amor y luz, que es un evento que desde hace ya 3 años la divina Dr. Jeanne organiza ahora sí que para todos en el mundo, y hoy vamos a trabajar en 2 idiomas, español e inglés. Mi nombre es Severine Naessens y pues aquí estoy con ustedes. Thank you so much for that introduction, Dr. Jeanne. That was a real quick hello to the Spanish-speaking community to let them know that this is what you just said in the intro. And I'm so honored to be here again. This has been so much fun to repeat this exercise each year. It helps me put things in perspective, and funnily enough, the invitation to participate makes me think. It's like a reminder of, hey, it's not just the holiday season, you know, it's every single day that we should be in this vibration of love and light. So thank you so much for inviting me back again. Let me translate real quick.
Yes, please.
Pues le estoy agradeciendo a la Dr. Jeanne por esta invitación. Es la tercera vez que tengo la bendición, el honor de participar en este evento. Y tan solo la invitación me invita, no nada más la invitación al evento, sin embargo, es una invitación a reflexionar sobre el amor, la luz, en la que no nada más en estas fechas navideñas, pero pues deberíamos estar en esa frecuencia pues todos los días del año. Pues así que aquí estamos y pues bienvenidos a esta breve sesión en la cual tengo el honor de participar. Dr. Jeanne, thank you so much.
And I want to acknowledge that Severine is one of our Day of Light and Love alumni, so she has participated all 3 years that we've held this event, and that is huge. And it's because of those like you who have served so, I don't know, selflessly, that we continue to have this event and it's growing. So thank you for that.
Thank you. And let me go into Spanish really quickly, tell people. Dr. Jeanne está comentando que pues soy ahora sí veterana de este evento de amor y luz, ya que pues es la tercera ocasión en la que pues voluntariamente aportamos y con mucho cariño a este evento. Thank you. Yes, it's amazing how you've gathered so many amazing people. I'm just in awe of the lineup, and I'm very honored to be among these leaders. Me siento muy honrada de estar al medio de esta gran lista de personas, de líderes a nivel mundial. People from all over the world, and it's just so much fun and so amazing, and I'm so happy. It really rejoices. My heart expands just by knowing that that we're not alone. There's so many people in that same vibration. Me expande el corazón. Me emociona mucho saber que no estamos solas, que no estamos solos, que hay tanta gente a nivel mundial en esta vibración de amor y de luz.
Can you take just a few minutes to, for those who aren't acquainted with you and what you do and how you serve, I just maybe a little bit of your path to today and what today is about for you?
Sure, thank you. Really, the way we met was through the Sheepless Life program with Yvonne de la Flor, and before that, I participated in 21 days of faith in action with Yvonne, and that really catapulted me into a higher vibration, into a new path, also as a professional. I'm a translator. I studied translation. That's what I did in college. However, after that, when I came to Cancun, I was a scuba dive instructor. I worked at the Belgian consulate. I've done all kinds of things. I used to have a digital marketing company.
You are Belgian by birth.
Yes, Belgian by birth, and I was raised in Belgium as well. I moved to Cancun, Mexico when I was 24. So that's a little while ago, 20 years exactly. So it's been a long path, but really once I started going on to the coaching path, I became a life coach to help myself get out of whatever mess I was in, because you have to touch rock bottom to be able to start climbing. So I've been there, done that, and that path has been enriched by so many great teachers, by so many great mentors. And I have been blessed to have the space and time to do the work for myself, to move forward. And I've also been blessed with the opportunity to share all that knowledge with others. So at this present time, I teach communication. I teach responsible communication, and I want to pay tribute to Chick Mormon for bringing that system, the Parent Talk system, into the world, because that really changed the way I communicate with my family, with my loved ones, with everybody around me. So
and now you should translate.
Yes, I know. I will go into Spanish. Pues les cuento rápidamente. La doctora Jeanne preguntaba, pues, ¿quién soy? ¿De dónde vengo? Soy originaria de Bélgica. Y pues he hecho muchas cosas en mi vida, pero hoy en día a través de nosotras nos conocimos en la Academia Sheepless Life, fuimos compañeras de estudio, y de ahí hice los 21 días de fe en acción con Yvonne de la Flor, a quien mandamos muchos besos a Yvonne, por habernos empoderado, porque la verdad, gracias a sus enseñanzas he podido enriquecer muchísimo mi camino. Hice un montón de cosas, soy traductora de profesión, pero he sido instructora de buceo, trabajé en un consulado, tuve un negocio mercadotecnia digital, en fin, muchas cosas, pero hoy en día soy coach y enseño comunicación responsable, y quiero pagar tributo a Chick Mormon, quien ha traído el sistema Parent Talk a este mundo, al cual me pude certificar como instructora gracias a Rebeca Montero. También besos a Rebeca. Y pues hoy en día enseño lo que es la comunicación responsable. Tengo la bendición de poder enseñar y compartir todo el conocimiento que me ha llegado en todos estos años. So, I've been blessed with so many good teachers and mentors. Me han bendecido con muy buenos maestros y mentores that have put me on a path of making the world a better place, quienes me han empujado a este camino de hacer el mundo un mejor lugar. One person at a time, one family at a time, one class at a time, one live stream at a time. We do little, we all well, not we, all of us, but for myself, let me speak for myself. We have the opportunity to share little bits and pieces, and that's sowing the seeds of communication, seeds of love, seeds of light, seeds of joy, happiness, seeds of hope for many people as well. So thank you once again for inviting me.
So from Belgium to Mexico,
Yes.
it seems to you like such a casual thing to talk of that, but yet really, because you've lived it and you've, right, you're decades beyond it. But here's the thing, how many people are courageous enough to follow their heart? That's one thing that's always struck me about you, is your courage level. Now I remember you jumping out of the airplane. You parachuted. Did you not parachute with no?
No, what I did with Yvonne, she's parachuted. I have that still on my bucket list.
You too. Now see, my perception here is so different.
You're futuring me jumping out of a plane. I like that. Lo que comentamos es que de Cancún, de Bélgica a Cancún, de Bélgica a México, pues para mí es algo muy sencillo de comentarles, porque pues hace 20 años que lo hice, y lo que comenta Jeanne es que mi coraje, mi atrevimiento de hacer las cosas, ¿no? Y ella comenta que me vio brincar de un avión, todavía no salto del avión, pero pues ya hecho está, y ya se puso en el futuro. I will be jumping out of a plane soon, possibly.
Wow, possibly.
Yes.
And so you fell in love with Cancun, you fell in love with Mexico.
Yes.
Were you on vacation, if I recall?
I kind of took a sabbatical and came to Cancun for 6 months, and it's been 20 years.
So long sabbatical.
Yes, me tomé un sabático de 6 meses para venirme a Cancún, y pues ya van 20 años. Así que, yeah, but I did fall in love with the country, the energy, the people, the ocean. That's why I chose that picture for my background. Me enamoré del país, de la gente, del océano. Por eso la foto que elegí aquí atrás.
Do you still scuba dive?
Yes, I do. I haven't done as much as I wish I would. I would like to go more often, but I haven't given myself the time or the opportunity. But yes, I love to scuba dive. I love to go diving with the sharks. This is the time of year where the bull sharks are visiting. So I'm looking forward to go see those creatures again. Me encanta bucear todavía, de vez en cuando, no tanto como quisiera. Pero esta es la época del tiburón toro, y pues espero poder ir a verlos en estos días.
And you love scuba diving so much so that there is almost an essence of communicating with love when you're scuba diving as well.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in the ocean, you go into this frequency of peace. For me, it is a frequency of peace. It's a frequency of really communicating first and foremost with myself, because when you scuba dive, you get enclosed in your own respiration. It's like a meditation in action, because you have to be really conscious about your breathing because you're underwater. So it becomes for me a meditative state where I am able to become very aware and very mindful of my surroundings. It's a very intensely peaceful. It's like, it may sound contradictory, but it's very intense, but it gives me a lot of peace. Mm-hmm. So it is a state, a different state of mind and presence when I go scuba diving. Para mí, cuando voy a bucear, es como una meditación en acción. Porque cuando buceas estás completamente enfocado en tu respiración, porque pues tienes que concentrarte en tu respiración, y me permite de manera muy intensa estar con mucha paz, porque estoy concentrada en mi respiración, y me permite estar más consciente de mi entorno, más consciente de lo que me rodea.
And you have, I believe, celebrated, are you coming up on a second anniversary?
Second wedding anniversary, yes.
Yes, that is coming up. And is it May?
Yes, 1st of May. It will be 2 years. I got married again, married for the second time, and it's been a wonderful experience and a huge teaching experience as well. I mean, I've learned so much this second time around on how to communicate specifically, on how to be present, on how to communicate with love and not take things personal, how to be vested in my personal power as a woman, as a mother, as a wife. It's been quite a ride, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity and for this experience. Yeah,
It's so great.
Estoy por celebrar mi segundo aniversario. Me preguntaba, doctor Jeanne, por mi segundo aniversario de bodas, 1 de mayo, me falta un poquito, pero le comento que esta oportunidad, esta segunda oportunidad de matrimonio, ha sido una gran lección, una gran oportunidad de aprender más, de cómo comunicarme desde el amor, cómo estar bien parada en mi poder personal como mujer, como madre, como esposa. Una oportunidad de mucho aprendizaje acerca de la relación con este hombre maravilloso que me ha llegado. It's been a wonderful 2 years so far.
I love it. I love it. And what do you want to say about communicating with love? This is a kind of a sweet spot for you.
Yeah. Well, in my experience as a communications coach, a communications teacher, obviously, I always teach out of congruency, and I've been pushed to explore all the realms of communication through love. And what I've learned is that if you communicate from the heart, if you communicate with sincerity, if you dare to say no when you really feel it's a no, that your honest yeses and honest nos, when you step away from taking things personal and really be empathic with the other person and really understand that where they're coming from, you also learn how to communicate at a different level. I communicate less. I used to be a really blabbermouth, but I've learned to shut up. I've learned to really stay quiet and listen and only say what is needed to be heard. Because sometimes we say too much, sometimes we talk too much, and that can cause conflict.
Yes.
So I've learned to, I'll translate in a second. I've also learned to communicate from a point where I try. It doesn't always work, but I really try to understand where the other person is coming from and meet them there.
Yes.
And that has been a big turning point when I got that.
It's huge.
It's a huge turning point, especially in my relationship with my husband, because obviously men and women, we think different, we communicate differently, but being able to reach him where he's at, it's been huge for me. So yes, communication is really important, and I think it's the basis of any relationship, with your partner, with your children, with business people, with business partners, with friends, with anybody who's around us. Communication is key. So it's a continuous learning experience, and I keep growing, I keep learning, and I keep studying, and I keep looking for other ways to communicate in a more effective and a more responsible and a more loving way. So, yeah.
Translation.
Les comento que para mí la comunicación, hablando de la comunicación amorosa, es muy importante el comunicar desde el amor, el comunicar desde la sinceridad, el comunicar desde la honestidad. y el poder ser congruente. Por ejemplo, para mí es importante poder ser congruente con lo que enseño, que es la comunicación responsable, y pues para mí ha sido una gran oportunidad de seguir aprendiendo de cómo comunicarme, encontrando a la persona en donde está, el poder ser empática con otra persona y el poder entender el por qué la otra persona se está expresando de la manera que se está expresando sin tomarme las cosas personales. Cuando dejamos de tomarnos las cosas personales, la comunicación empieza a fluir muchísimo más, de manera más efectiva. También el poder ser congruente con mi honesto sí y mi honesto no. El ser honesta conmigo mismo y decir no cuando realmente algo no me late, o el decir sí cuando realmente algo quiero hacer, es algo muy clave en la comunicación amorosa, porque el poder comunicar menos para mí ha sido clave. El comunicarme menos significa el no hablar por hablar, el hablar únicamente y específicamente qué es lo que realmente es necesario, qué es lo que realmente es significativo. Para mí es una comunicación amorosa. El encontrar al otro en donde se encuentra, especialmente con mi esposo, ha sido clave en nuestra relación. So, yes.
When you were speaking of what I heard you say was the Stephen Covey principle of seeking to understand before being understood.
Yeah.
That is a huge shift when we hit that point. And I do think that there's a certain amount of personal work that we have to do to even be able to walk through that doorway and really own that, just own that perspective that you really are truly interested in understanding, and then understanding the other person, understanding the other people, and then stepping in and expressing yourself, instead of, so much conflict comes from insisting on being heard.
And I mean, all human beings, we want to be heard. We really want to be understood. So it's key if we can have a dialogue where both of us are understanding and both of us are meeting each other right there in the middle. I think that's where the real communication happens. That's where we really understand and connect profoundly with other people. Let me translate real quick. Les traduzco lo que nos comparte Dr. Jeanne. De Stephen Covey hay un principio que dice el entender al otro antes de ser entendido. Y eso es justamente de lo que hablaba. Es algo importante, el poder entender al otro en primer lugar, para poder encontrarlo en esa comunicación y podernos comunicar. Y es clave cuando nos podemos realmente entender sin tomar las cosas personales, sin engancharnos, pero realmente encontrar al otro ahí a la mitad del camino. La comunicación fluye y es algo muy bello.
You mentioned Chick Mormon and the parent talk system that you've not just adopted, implemented, and you teach now, that system. Could you dive into that just a little bit? I think there's a lot of wisdom in that system, and probably there's probably a fair amount of people that maybe have never heard of it.
La doctora Jeanne me pide aunar un poquito en el tema del Parent Talk System y de Chick Mormon que mencioné antes. Ahorita les platico un poquito más acerca de qué es, porque muy pocas personas realmente lo conocen. The Parent Talk System is a system of 21 techniques, communication techniques, and really Chick Mormon and Thomas Haller, who set up this entire system, they've done an amazing job in investigating. There's a huge bibliography. There's a whole list of authors. Bibliography, thank you. That they have taken bits and pieces from. It's nothing that they've invented. It's nothing brand new. However, in a very clever way, they have been able to set up this system of 21 techniques through which we can learn how to speak, how to communicate in a way where there's no attack towards the other person, where we eliminate the being personal with others, especially with children. The system is set up to be taught to parents to communicate with the children. However, I've discovered, and I've been able to pull that out of that context and also teach it at a business level. I've been invited to teach at a school where the teachers, the whole team of teachers and administrative staff will be learning how to communicate with these tools, because it's a way where we eliminate the being personal, we eliminate the attack towards the being.
Yes.
We communicate about the situations, we communicate, and we are able to install limits, install consequences, install a full system where we teach, especially children, that there's a path for them to follow. And as parents, we keep them within that path without punishing, without being violent, without crushing their personality, without crushing their soul. And this has been, for me, it's been really revealing, because so many wounds that we have as adults. And I've discovered that being 30 somewhat years old, I started doing my personal work, and there were so many wounds in there that were brought onto my being, into me, that they're stuck in there because of how I was educated. It's not that my parents or my family did something wrong. They did the perfect job with the tools that they had. However, those wounds that I have, that I had, because I've been able to heal many of them, they were there because of patterns that have been brought down onto generation after generation. So being able to heal that, supported with the communication system, has been a real blessing, because now I've been able to implement that with my daughter, and her emotional, her EQ is so much higher than mine was at her age. And it's blowing my mind how it really works. And I can see that, for example, Rebecca, who's the one that taught me how this works, I see her and her daughter, Sophia, who's already in her 20s. And it's just so exciting to see what a huge impact that this communication system has on our kids. So
Translate.
yes. Les cuento rápidamente acerca del sistema Parent Talk. Como me preguntaba Dr. Jeanne, es un sistema de 21 técnicas de comunicación responsable desarrolladas por Chick Morman y Thomas Haller, quienes hicieron un trabajo impresionante. Hay una bibliografía impresionante de todos los trabajos de donde ellos tomaron pequeñas piezas, pero lograron armar este sistema de 21 técnicas que nos permite comunicar sin lastimar al ser, sin lastimar a la persona, comunicando las situaciones, comunicando de una manera responsable, tomando cada quien responsabilidad de sus palabras, y así poder empoderar a los niños, a las niñas, específicamente aplicando el sistema parental que está hecho para padres de familia. Y lo que estoy viendo es el impacto que ha tenido este sistema en Sofía, que es la hija de Rebeca Montero, quien fue mi maestra en este sistema. Y me emociona muchísimo ver cómo Sofía se ha vuelto una mujer independiente con un poder personal muy firme, y comunica de una manera muy responsable. Y lo estoy viendo ya en mi hija, que tiene 12 años, cómo estos años de haber aplicado este sistema y seguir aplicando el sistema le ha dado una estabilidad y una madurez emocional bastante ya avanzada a sus 12 años, comparando con cómo estaba yo. Y hay muchas heridas emocionales que tenemos los adultos que son basadas en lo que es los patrones que nos enseñan desde pequeños, los patrones de comunicación que se nos, así que bajan de generación en generación, esas heridas emocionales que como adultos tenemos que trabajar. Yo empecé a trabajar las mías ya teniendo 30 y tantos años de edad, y pues la verdad estoy impactada de cómo ha tenido un impacto la comunicación en mi familia, y no es porque lo hayan hecho mal mis padres o mi familia, lo hicieron perfecto con las herramientas que ellos tenían. Simplemente hoy en día ya tenemos más herramientas para hacer ciertos cambios, eliminar esos patrones de comunicación que heredamos de nuestra familia y poderlos mejorar y poder hacer algo diferente para poder entregar ese poder personal y esa estabilidad emocional a nuestros hijos poco a poco. No soy perfecta. I'm not the perfect mom either. But I do the best I can with the tools I have, so I keep searching. No soy la mamá perfecta, sigo buscando herramientas para poder educar de la mejor manera a mi hijo.
When you spoke of Rebecca and her daughter Sophia,
Yes.
and you get to see this, I don't call it the product, but it is a result of a consistent philosophy or approach
Mm-hmm.
to parenting and communication. And then
Yes.
on the other side of it, um, is it that the defensiveness, like I feel like when a child is corrected, spoke over, made wrong, invalidated to some, or feels, really it's all perception. So
Mm-hmm.
the intention may not have been that at all, but on the receiving end, right? You without defensiveness, it makes it more natural
Yes.
to just seek to understand because you're not guarding your position.
Exactly. Exactly. Let me translate that. Lo que comenta Dr. Jeanne es que sin tener esa ofensividad, aunque a veces comunicamos sin la intención de lastimar, terminamos lastimando porque es de la percepción de la otra persona, el quien recibe la comunicación es quien interpreta y quien le pone el valor emocional a las palabras. Y ahí al poder corregir esto, y lo que estamos viendo en el resultado con Sofía, con Inari, es el resultado de esta comunicación constante, del ser constante en este sistema, el ser constante en esa filosofía de comunicación, si lo quieres ver así. Genera un resultado muy contundente y pues me emociona mucho el ver los resultados, y por eso pues me empeño en enseñarlo y en compartirlo y contribuir de la manera que yo pueda. The reason that is actually seeing those results is one of the reasons why I keep going, why I keep on learning and keep on teaching,
Yes.
because it's such a blessing seeing the results, and the results are instant. I just finished the course a couple of weeks ago, and it's amazing to see how over a lapse of 6 weeks, the people that were in my class, they're actually having results with their children, and it's so gratifying to see that. Even to hear one of the ladies that was in the course, she has a 2.5-year-old, a really cute little boy, and he is using the words that he heard in the class. He was with us in class. She took him along, and he's using the words. So that is like the biggest gratification for me, to see this 2.5-year-old.
Absolutely.
He got it.
Absolutely.
His mom's having trouble, but he got it.
Yes. You should translate that.
Les comparto que acabo de terminar un curso ahorita en diciembre, y para mí ver los resultados que las personas que asistieron están teniendo después de 6 semanas es lo más gratificante. Y de hecho lo más gratificante aún es que uno de las mamás trajo a su hijo a clase. Asistió el niño a todo el curso y tiene 2 años y medio. Le mando un gran beso a Valencia, si me está viendo. There's a big kiss to Valentino if he's seeing me, because his mom really tunes in every once in a while, so I hope she's watching. Espero que estén viendo. Valentino, el niño, está aplicando las técnicas, está aplicando la comunicación responsable con su mamá, y eso es lo más gratificante, porque al niño le entró de inmediato. La mamá está teniendo más retos con aplicar las técnicas, pero el niño ya en automático, he automatically absorbed the communication
Absolutely.
technique, because it's a non-hostile communication, and it's a communication from love, and that's where I wanted to get to. This being, if we are being responsible with our communication, if we really honor our communication, by being responsible of what we think, of what we speak, and how we communicate, it is, for me as a mom, the best way to show love to my daughter and to other children around me and other adults around me. Because being true to honoring the other person and being true to doing my best at being non-hostile, because I used to be really, really verbally very hostile with my daughter and with the people around me. And when I got that, I quickly eliminated. I worked very hard, and I keep working on eliminating that, because we are taught to defend constantly. We are taught to stand up, and as you said earlier, to stand strong and be ready to go punching. But if we actually stand in our power and we can be truthful to who we are and in honoring the other person, there's no need to be on guard all the time.
No.
You can let your guard down and just be and just flow. And that is the best gift.
To truly be.
Yes.
And that's really being in power. Because being in power is really just owning whatever it is that you're doing, not even thinking about what you're doing. It's just owning it. And the work you're doing is so amazing, because like children are such a passion of mine. Because I remember years ago, I was probably 30, and I did a course as I was really in the very early stages of my personal growth trajectory, which hasn't stopped. It's, it's a continuum. But I just remember, children are the future of the planet. If we change a child,
we change the future.
We change the future.
Well, we impact the future. We don't necessarily change it.
No, we can impact change. We can contribute to a direction that is more positive and more harmonious, and that there will always be. I mean, we can set a bowl on a table, and there could be 4 sides to that table. Everyone's in a chair. You might see a crack. I don't see the crack. We could argue about the fact that I could argue that there is no crack, right? But as you get on, and the sooner that you learn that a perspective is a perspective, absolutely, you have yours.
Totally. And our perspective is completely biased, because it all depends on where we come from, what we've been through, and how we look upon life. And that's
what we notice.
Wearing the glasses.
What lenses are we?
Yes.
It's so true. It's absolutely true. And so when you take away that defensive lens, and that is I think it does become easier the more that you, there is a metamorphosis of sorts to become that. Especially after years of protecting your position, like we're pretty much culturally infused, even outside of home. As soon as you get into, for me, it was public school, even my home life, I was one of 7 kids, and it was competitive there. And so I love the idea of teaching collaboration, cooperative collaboration, instead of competition. I love competition.
Oh, me too.
I totally do. I do. I love competition, but I don't think that communication needs to be competitive.
No, there's areas where we can be competitive, and other areas where competition should be completely eradicated. Let me translate.
Oh my goodness.
Voy a resumirles en español, ahora sí que nos conectamos y nos apasionamos. Lo que estábamos comentando es que es importante el poder dejar atrás la defensa, porque crecemos con esa idea de que tenemos que estarnos defendiendo y listos para surtir golpes en cualquier momento. Y admito que personalmente fui verbalmente muy violenta con mi hija y con la gente que me rodeaba. Llegué a ser muy violenta verbalmente. Y aprendí que esa violencia verbal es realmente lo que genera muchas heridas. Y esas heridas se quedan prácticamente toda la vida si no logramos hacer ese trabajo. Y al hacer mi trabajo personal, sanando esas heridas, entendí que la defensa no era necesario. Cuando podemos comunicar de manera responsable, cuando podemos comunicarnos de una manera en donde realmente asumimos la responsabilidad de nuestros pensamientos, de nuestras palabras, y el entender al otro sin tomar las cosas personales, sin entrar en esa discusión, esa competencia, como decía doctor Jeanne. Hay una competencia de que a ver quién tiene razón, a ver quién puede más. Y al dejar eso atrás, al realmente comunicar desde el amor, desde la responsabilidad, logramos estar más saludables emocionalmente entre todos. Y eso tiene un impacto tan importante en los niños, que los niños son el futuro, los niños son nuestro futuro de este planeta. Y pues si podemos hoy en día tener un impacto a estos niños, estamos teniendo un impacto hacia el futuro, dejando a un lado la competencia. La competencia es buena en los deportes, la competencia es buena en los negocios, la competencia es buena en muchas áreas, pero en la comunicación, la invitación, ahora sí que de ambas, es que dejemos esa competencia a un lado para ver quién tiene más razón y realmente llegar a comunicarnos desde el amor. Y depende mucho de la perspectiva de donde tú estás viendo lo que ella, doctor Jeanne nos comentaba. Puede haber una mesa y puede haber un traste en medio de la mesa, y de los 4 lados de la mesa cada quien tiene una perspectiva distinta y puede estar roto por un lado y podemos discutir a ver si está roto o no está roto. Simplemente depende de cada quien, de con qué ojos, con qué lentes estamos viendo la vida. Y pues ahí dejar la defensa a un lado, podemos empezar a sintonizarnos y tener una perspectiva más unificada, y el poder encontrarnos en esas perspectivas, aunque cada quien vamos a tener una perspectiva distinta siempre, porque depende de qué viviste, de dónde vienes, de muchos factores, tu propia perspectiva. Así que pues ahí la invitación a dejar la defensa a un lado y podernos comunicar de manera más amorosa. The invitation is to leave the defense on the side and communicate in a more harmonious, a more loving way.
Yes, to bring love,
Yes,
to
so much
bring love.
needed, so very, very needed. And oftentimes I've been able to sit back and watch communication go, especially I'm talking about my personal life. I see communication going on, and I've been able to step back and release that, taking it personal. Even though I know it's meant for me,
Yes.
I try to sit back and understand where that's coming from and why it's being communicated in such a way. And lately I've been able to not get hooked into that conversation and observe it with love.
Yes.
And there's a compassion that comes up. It's not anger anymore. I used to get really angry and get upset. I don't. It feels more like wanting to hug and hold and contain all that rage, contain all that sadness, contain all that hurt that's going on in the other person, and being able to contain that and not absorb all that hurt and all that pain and make it mine has marked a huge difference for me to be able to move on and to just sit tight, receive it, but not make it mine. And
that's huge. You better translate that.
sí, les comentaba que para mí ha sido muy importante el entender en la comunicación, el poder tomar un paso para atrás. Y toda la comunicación, estoy hablando de mi vida personal, cuando hay alguna comunicación verbal hacia mí que viene filosa, que viene con rencor o con dolor o con enojo, logro recibirlo, pero no lo tomo a pecho, no me lo quedo. He aprendido a observar estas situaciones y al entender de dónde viene, del por qué me están hablando de esta manera, del por qué la otra persona se está expresando de esta manera, y el entender de dónde viene. Y al entender de dónde viene ya no es nada personal conmigo, simplemente es un reflejo de su estado, de su dolor, de su angustia, de su miedo de la otra persona que se está comunicando conmigo. Y al poder entender esto ha sido impresionante el cómo he podido recibir esa comunicación, pero no me la tomo a pecho y de esta manera puedo entender mejor y me genera un sentimiento, en vez de enojarme y en vez de engancharme, en vez de sentirme mal, genera compasión, genera como ganas de abrazar y de contener este dolor de la otra persona, este enojo y el poderlo contener y el poderlo entender. It's about understanding where the other person comes from. And that is, I think it's huge in everyday life. Even if you go to the supermarket and you bump into people and they're really grumpy and they're having a bad day and they shout at you, I keep blessing them. Please. I just really hope that someday as humanity, we could come to a point where we stop taking things so personal and where we stop vomiting all of that negativity onto people and just do the work. And it takes a lot of work. I mean, you know,
I do know.
you've been through a whole career, and you're way ahead of me in all of this. And it's such a blessing to have people like you around us, because it inspires me to keep going. It inspires me to keep learning. It inspires me to keep listening and to be humble and just receive all of that information and integrate it. Para mí es una bendición tener personas como Dr. Jeanne, quien tiene muchísimos años de trabajo, me lleva a la delantera, me inspira a aprender más, a escuchar, con humildad recibir toda la información y todas las enseñanzas que personas como ella que me rodean pues comparten con el mundo.
I appreciate the compliment, the acknowledgement, but I do want to tell you this, that I have not arrived. And yes, there are things that I've learned, and there's things that perhaps I've already acquired skills or understanding or knowledge, but there's things that you know that I do not yet know. And I so enjoy conversations with people who are on the journey of truly becoming love, which is the essence truly of our existence here, returning to that frequency of love. And the work that you do is, it's profound, because truly, when you change the conversation that a parent has with a child, you change the conversation that the child has with the parent. And you change the conversation that the child has with a friend, with their future, with all the people they will encounter. And you change the conversation that the parent has at work, at the supermarket, right? I mean, it is profoundly important work, and it is not ever to be in any way lessened. No, it's really brilliant. The work that you're doing is brilliant, because that's how we change a culture. Is we change the dialogue, we change the conversation, we change the way that conversation is received, that it's not combative, that it's not defensive. You know, one of the things that I see a lot in our society, in the way that we operate, is this principle of triangulation. Or, you know, I'm going to talk to you about her instead of going to her and having the conversation. You know, my defensiveness is so rooted that I can't even really confront the other. Not even to the level, but I will go and pollute your waters with her. Are you with me? And so there's such a systemic need. And it does start with, I think that it's very difficult. You know, I became a better Jeannie when I became a mom.
Motherhood.
Yeah,
Yes.
because yeah, I got the weight of that, right?
Mhm.
The value of children
Uf.
and the value of a new life, and not just what that new life means to you or you know your family, but to the society. Like, what is the ripple
Mhm.
that the way that you conduct yourself with that child will have across eternity?
Mhm.
Anyhow, that's a lot to translate.
Yes, I'll resume. Uf, I'm touched. Thank you for
Mm,
your words.
yes.
Me siento, me tocó, ahorita que me hablaba, me tocó el alma, porque lo que comentaba es que es importante el trabajo que estamos haciendo, de enseñar cómo cambiar la comunicación con los hijos, para ambas. I concur with you that motherhood has changed. For me, it's been a huge flip towards a completely different path. Para mí la maternidad ha sido un cambio impresionante hacia un camino completamente distinto. Lo que compartía doctor Jeanne es que para ella la maternidad le ha enseñado muchísimas cosas y a mí también, me consta. Los hijos vienen a cambiarte la perspectiva, el valor de una vida, el valor del futuro, el valor de todo lo que implica la llegada de un hijo, el valor de la comunicación. Y cuando logramos cambiar la manera en la que comunicamos, cuando logramos eliminar eh, todo esa carga emocional a través de la cual, con la cual comunicamos. Estamos enseñando a los hijos comunicarse de una manera distinta. Cuando cambiamos la comunicación de un padre con un hijo, se cambia cómo comunica el hijo con el padre, cómo comunica el hijo con los amigos, cómo comunica el adulto con otros adultos. Cambiamos completamente nuestro sistema de comunicación hacia un sistema de comunicación más amoroso, un sistema de comunicación más honesto, más pacífico, con más amor. Y el comunicar desde el amor, el estar en vibración de amor es algo que es como una meta y no hemos terminado nuestro trabajo personal. Ella también comunica que ella tiene mucha experiencia en muchas cosas, cosas distintas a las mías, y pues puede que yo tenga herramientas que ella no tiene y al revés, así nos complementamos. We complement each other on different knowledges, on different tools that we have, and that's the importance of community as well.
Yes.
So that we can communicate and share. It is so important to share all the knowledge that we have received so that others can take advantage of it. Es tan importante para mí el poder comunicar, el poder compartir todo lo que hemos recibido en herramientas para que los demás también puedan aprovecharlas y puedan tomar lo que les sirva para poder hacer los cambios. So everyone can take whatever serves them best to make those changes, to do that healing, para poder sanar lo que está ahí dentro.
When they're ready,
Whenever,
their
whenever.
timing.
Exactly. Eso es en el momento para cada quien, es cuando cada quien esté listo para hacer cierto trabajo, para sanar ciertas heridas. Cada quien tiene su línea de tiempo, cada quien tiene sus momentos, sus tiempos. So the importance is put it out there so that people can take whatever fruits they wish to whatever they choose to use and work on. Cualquier cosa que cada quien decida tomar, es como tomar las frutas que te quieras comer para poder hacer el trabajo.
We are almost at an hour. It's unbelievable. And I know in translating, you're having the
Takes a
same
while.
conversation twice. I feel like I could ask you even more questions. Something that comes to mind is, there may be someone who's an adult now. Maybe they don't even have children.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they haven't hit that point, or they are past that point, and but they have themselves.
Yes.
And they need to talk to the child inside of themselves
Yes.
in order to heal.
Yes. Totally. Las personas, aunque tengan hijos o no tengan hijos, todos tenemos un niño interior y es importante sanar ese niño y esa niña para poder seguir adelante.
Yes.
Yes.
important work that you're doing, Severine.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jeanne.
You are amazing. We barely scratched the scratch of the scratch of the scratch here, but it has been great. And we do have to sign off. But thank you so much. This is Christmas. You gave us your time. You gave us your heart. You gave us just an amazing transmission here. So thank you. And thank you for translating and impacting more lives with this conversation.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Muchas gracias a todos por conectarse. Gracias, Dr. Jeanne, por recibirme, pues por permitirme compartir un poquito. Aún no logramos meternos muy a fondo, pero estamos llegando a una hora de transmisión. Ya es hora de cerrar esta transmisión. Espero que la hayan disfrutado. Gracias por sintonizar con nosotras. Thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Happy holidays. Felices fiestas.
Yes.
Bye-bye.